Following an unprecedented attack on the U.S. Capitol building, many are asking whether President Donald Trump incited his supporters to commit acts of violence. During the chaos, Trump tweeted his view that Vice President Mike Pence lacked the courage to try and change November's presidential election results. Twitter immediately restricted that post, citing a risk of violence. Meanwhile, the crowd could be heard chanting, The president's comments came as members of Congress and the vice president were certifying the election results. Twitter later suspended his account and warned that his supporters are planning future armed protests on January 17th. Now, the smaller so-called alt-tech platforms are being criticized for their roles in the events. Gab saw a 40% increase in traffic during the attack, with some in the crowds allegedly using it to try and find the vice president who was sheltering in the building. Parler, which has gained more than 12 million users in the past year, is viewed as a safe haven for those who've also been removed from Twitter. It removed this post from a pro-Trump attorney, but that kind of limited enforcement action wasn't enough for Amazon, which has removed Parler's web hosting services, calling it a very real risk to public safety. Google and Amazon have removed it from their app stores. Parler says an anti-competitive pack of big tech tyrants is working together to stifle competition in the social media marketplace.
Of course, like everybody else, we were horrified by a lot of the incitement that was going on this week, and we are doing everything that we can within our principles to, deal appropriately with that content. And we work with law enforcement as well. But that content has been everywhere this week. This has been a very unusual week, and to be singled out, we think, is quite unfair.
Internet safety activist Larry Magid says there is value in services that allow people to express their views where the public and also law enforcement can see them.
If people want to use the internet to conspire, they're going to find a way to do it, whether it's Parler or Gab or the dark web or however they're able to do it. See, people will, but it won't have the kind of reach that Trump now has, for example, with his, or had until yesterday, with his 88 million Twitter followers. It'll be a darker portion of the web.